Hi, students. How are you doing? Welcome to Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across this video where Jasmine Crockett, went all out to educate them because some people really I just do not understand them, right? Some people I don't understand why. I mean, like America is pushing so much anti-China propaganda. I have no idea. But this man was talking about how it will really be very nice to buy Greenland and all that. You are buying Greenland when you have not even finished taking care of the things that you are supposed to take care of. And now they were talking about how you all know what's going on in California and all that. Some people really I mean, I saw a video of a man really being very happy that some people are going through it. Why? Because some celebrities live there and um, they supported Kamala Harris, and so he was like, how dare you people come out to tell us who to vote and who not to vote? Now you all are saying the repercussions of what you people did and the rest of it, you know. So here, I mean, Jasmine Crockett really cooked them out. Excuse me, because the conversation that was going on there really sounded Republicans, and you all already know how they sound. And you know what? I love seeing black people do their thing, especially when she comes out to also remind you that black women are the most educated demographic in. Oh my God. Let's get into the video because she cooked. She did cook.
We have seen a lot of ridiculous and inflammatory reaction to the devastating fires all throughout Los Angeles. But some of the worst and what's been so representative of our current political moment can come from CNN's Scott Jennings. And I saw a tweet about Scott Jennings saying that a pointless and partisan political conversation in the middle of a dangerous and deadly wildfire perfectly represents what's happening in our moment in politics. People don't actually care about those in danger. They just want to get their agenda across. And that's exactly what Scott Jennings has been trying to do on CNN. Terrible network. But thank goodness Jasmine Crockett was also on to shut him down, call out his lies, and point out the MAGA nonsense and their talking points. And we are going to get into that. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video. And if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way and it really means the world to me. And like I said in my past video, currently been dealing with the flu. That is why I've been out for a couple of days, but I appreciate the support even through limited videos recently. Now let's get into Jasmine Crockett's incredible and important takedown in this clip right here.
Might have recall a news story from last year. There was some interest in the fire departments and the firefighters in California, and the interest was that there were too many white men who were firefighters, and we need to have a program in California to make sure we don't have enough white men as firefighters. So we have DEI, we have budget cuts, and yet I'm wondering now, if your house is burning down, how much do you care what color the firefighters are?
You can respond and then we'll...
Listen, I am so tired. You know what? There was an article that just came out that said that actually the most educated demographic in this country right now is black women. So let me be clear. Because you are a woman, or because I know that some of the right has been sharing these photos of the fact that I believe that the fire chief may be a woman or something, that has nothing to do with it. We are looking at qualifications. What diversity, equity, and inclusion has always been about is saying, you know what? Open this up. Don't just look at the white men. Open it up and recognize that other people can be qualified. And the fact that we want to, at a time when people are dying, decide that a country of immigrants is failing or people are dying because the same very people that built this country, because the last time I checked, y'all didn't say that anything was wrong with the White House, and I can promise you it was my ancestors that built the White House. So listen, if we have been good enough to build this country, we are good enough to serve and die overseas, we are good enough to serve in other ways. And the fact that people actually decide that they want to engage in public service, whether it's sitting in Congress or whether it's serving on the fire department or the police department, should not be an issue. The fact is, stop trying to act as if only white men are the ones that are capable. Because right now, you're sitting at a table with 3 very capable black women.
I'm not. I'm just simply saying that as a matter of public policy in California, the main interest in the fire department lately has been in DEI programming and budget cuts, and now we have this massive fire.
Are we really, but Scott, are we really blaming the fire department? in the LA Fire
No,
Department.
I'm blaming the
right?
Democrats who
no,
run
no,
the
no, no,
state.
but the fire department right now, they are dealing with a historic fire, okay?
And they have terrible leadership.
That is
Political
caused
leadership.
by climate, by the fact that it is
I don't know
extremely
that that's true.
dry
Can you let
in the
her
state of
finish?
California, and they are fighting it in hurricane, tropical force winds in that state. So how is it anything to do with DEI? How is it anything to do
no one has said that
with
the
fire
fire
department at all? They are doing their
No one
very
has said
best.
that
We're going to take care of our farmers. We're going to take care of your water situation. And we'll force it down his throat. And we'll say, Gavin, if you don't do it, we're not giving you any of that fire money that we send you all the time for all the forest fires that you have.
Yeah, the only thing that I would say is that I would feel more comfortable if we decided to send additional resources to FEMA now before he is sworn into office. So my challenge, my charge to the newly elected Speaker of the House is let's get a bill on the floor. Let's come together just like we came together when it dealt with Georgia and North Carolina and Florida. And let's make sure that California has the resources without delay, and make sure that there is no playing politics, because if you trust what he says, he has already made it clear that he likes to pick and choose who it is that he wants to support. And while the Congress may come together, I don't know what he's going to do with the veto pen. So I think that we should get it done while we still have a President Joe Biden.
To do the right thing.
I think that that's really the big issue, is that he was surrounded by what I would consider to be actual experts, people that had actual resumes talking of diversity, equity, inclusion, and people just getting jobs and they're not qualified. I mean, when you look at the people that he has decided to nominate for these posts, we're talking about people that have never served a day in a lot of these various agencies that he's now like, oh, you should go ahead and head this agency. He has specifically decided that loyalist is who he wants around him. People that will not give him that honest kind of reflective moment and say, you know what? This isn't what we do. And that is my biggest concern about this. And listen, I wasn't here serving as a member of Congress, so I can't say what he did and didn't do from an up close and personal perspective when he was in office before. But what I can say is what he threatens to do, along with the judgment that we've seen thus far going into this second administration, his judgment is way worse. I mean, looking at just the cabinet picks, obviously, we still have other decisions that he's going to have to make, but I can tell you one thing for sure, is that California will not have to worry if we get this done before Trump is in office. And if we wait, then I don't know what's going to happen.
Okay,
I describe them almost as loan sharks, as we've been on Codels across the world, and we've sat down and we've talked to these governments and we've asked them questions about why is it, for instance, we have a supply shortage when it comes to nickel. So when we start talking about how expensive it is for these fully electric vehicles, which is a conversation we are constantly having, because we know the mandates from the EPA, everybody's been upset about it. And so when we're looking and trying to figure out why is the cost so high, well, we know that China is the one that is leading, but they control the vast majority.
We've let them have a monopoly.
But I'm saying, but they're taking the resources everywhere. They're taking research. We never talk about it, but out of Africa,
So
we have seen them, and they partnered up with good old Russia in Africa to do that as well. And so, I think that it is about having a bigger conversation. And while I don't discount anything that you say, because we definitely don't want to ever put ourselves in a situation where we're shortchanged and we can't get goods in and out of any space that we need to. But at the same time, I think that it is short-sighted to say that we're going to focus in on this. I also think it's problematic to say that we're about to take stuff by force, and it's not just Panama. And then the final point is, if we don't start to really deal with the threats that we are facing globally because of China, we are going to have a problem. And I think that that's one of the things we failed to really fully communicate about when we started talking about TikTok and the issues with TikTok that we were experiencing.
So I think there's widespread agreement at the table that China is a major problem.
Say that again.
And I share it, and the only quibble I have with Dusty's bill is that it doesn't also include the purchase of Greenland, but we can talk about that on the floor. But
Full inclusion
but
into
we
the
cannot
place
have
that they're
this
going to be.
I fully imagine that if we buy Greenland, the people of Greenland that live there would be fully participatory in that. They might like it. They'll probably be compensated for it. And I think it'd be a much better deal than they got right now.
No,
truthfully.
anyway, we're sitting in D.C. right now. I just want to point out, if we're about to start talking about population, if that is the measure of who should have a state, I do want
800,000.
to point out that D.C. has more people and does not have statehood than some of
God.
our actual states. So let me be clear. That is not the measure of whether or not you get statehood. But what is very frustrating for people such as Stacey, and she is a wonderful representative, but she is limited in what she can do when you literally say, you don't have a voice. And I appreciate what you did on the House floor.
Well, I always have a voice.
Well, yes,
I may
you
not
always
have a vote.
Yes,
She may not have a vote,
but
she
I
certainly
always
has
have
a
a
voice.
voice.
And you all have a voice at this table. Thank you.
This is all I got from this video, and a very big shout out to Jasmine Crockett. She knows how to do it. She spat everything out. She shoot shoot and spat it all out. Some people think everything is like politics, like they can actually come out with. I mean, I just really do not understand Republicans. I think everything is all about games and the rest of it. And the way he pushed out, like it's only white cis men that can fight, like firefighters and all that, like. What do you mean? I mean, what do you mean? I love also the fact that Jasmine Crockett said, Black women are educated demographic. I love that part each time I hear it. And sincerely speaking, that was not actually a time to talk about politics. People are losing everything. And no, Republicans sometimes, I just do not understand how they behave and how they act. And sometimes I feel like some of the people they push out for shows, like like all these Fox News casters and all that. Those I don't know how to say, but I'm trying to just being kind, And I love the way the Democrats treated the Republican, because it's more like Democrats, that is Jasmine Crockett, the Black woman, and also like the Republican. I love the way they tabled them down and gave them a great lead and the rest of it. And the fact that also the Republican did not believe in global warming. They do not believe in global warming. They do not also believe in climate change, right? Because I remember the last thing that happened, the hurricane that happened, and they were like, it was the Democrats that is that poked the weather and the rest of it, and how can you be human and you do not believe in climate change? You do not believe like global warming. It's a thing. Like, how are you okay? So and if Trump, because he's just going to be in the office before we know where it's going, and I really don't know what is going to happen if he refuses to help the people of California, and I don't know, maybe they should have to withhold their payment, watch red state collapse without California. So I don't know, but let's see how it goes. And also Jasmine Crockett raised something about I think increasing the money for, is it FEMA or something, because they feel like if it is not done now, if he gets into power, there is possibility that that will never ever happen again. Yeah. And I really don't know, but yeah, CNN keeps giving this I don't know, bigger kind of platform, and they wonder why they lost more or half of their viewers, including MSNBC, if I am not mistaken. A lot of people also already stopped watching them because they also showed their true, who they are after the election. But something that I have also tried to make people that look like me understand is that do not ever, if it's not our own, it's just like there are some people you can always count on, people like Jasmine Crockett, and like some of them, Don Lemon, and other ones, right? I can't remember majority of their names, but I know Don Lemon so well. I know Jasmine Crockett and some other ones, right? There are some people you will never ever trust, especially if they are journalists or TV anchors and the rest of it. Do not ever trust them, especially this. Why? I have my reasons. The reality is that a majority of I have siblings and I have cousins that read communications, mass communication, all those like journalism, the rest of it, right? Or when it comes to politics, except the person has a very strong political, power, or some people already are made when it comes to politics. They don't swing around. They are not looking for maybe stomach infrastructure, like a way it's benefit only them and nothing more than that. Some people are looking towards making sure that things benefit not just only them, but people around them. That is the kind of person I can tell you Jasmine Crockett is, because I have seen her fight so hard for everything happening, like majority of the things and all that. And she is a great fighter, right? A great orator, very beautiful, and the rest of it, right? So if not, don't ever, just like somebody telling me to come and trust Joe Scarborough. The first day I learned about what he did after the election, what did I say? I personally said that why do you expect me to trust him when he is a business person? That place you see him all the time talk about politics, that is his business, right? And he must feed himself and also feed his family and use money for some other things. So him running around looking for a way to be friends with the incoming president and all that, it's him trying to keep his job alive. So if you ever believe people like that, that is your problem, right? So never ever. And I love the fact that people already knew them, understood that is what they know how to do best. And a lot of people stop. And what's the other one? Young Taurus and all that. People also knew what they are up to. They withdraw. So one thing is that when people know you for some kind of like being shady, when you are not straightforward, some people will come out to tell you that I am fighting for you. But sincerely speaking, they are not fighting for you. They are probably fighting for their stomach, right? Nothing more than that. Life is beyond that. And I wouldn't want a situation whereby somebody is putting his or her heart on someone you don't even know, especially all these people. No way. Just know that understand that majority of them are already deceased, and that at some point you definitely will get to hear some certain things that will convince you. You just have to give it time. That is something that I have learned. When Black people tells you something, it's either you believe or you experience it by yourself. But one thing I have also understood is that experience is the best teacher. By the time you experience it, I am sure you will not want to repeat it. So yeah, so far so great. I love the way Jasmine Crockett handled things, and she did a great job. And for those that are those Republicans, that act like blaming and dividing the country. Hate is the new patriot, patriot that it looks like hate is the only way that they show how patriotic they are when it comes to a Republican. But man, it's just like they are now blaming the minorities and probably women, blaming everybody for Mother Nature, because what just happened is nature. I think this is just all I got to say. I absolutely would love to hear what you got to say in the comment section. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.